Hey everyone, my name's Walter, and we're back here with a specific story today. Recently in a Neckbeard video, I covered the first part of a story called Wheezybeard, and then I got all sorts of ominous comments about how the story gets really dark, like this one. I've heard the Wheezybeard saga. It gets really messed up in the last few parts. Well, we won't be getting to the last few parts today or anything, but I'm going to read some more of it. I will link to the Neckbeard video with the first part in the description if I remember. So let's just get started with more Neckbeards from Reddit, Wheezybeard. I don't usually use the author's name for the story, but I wasn't sure what to call it. Creepy fat-ass Neckbeard? Nah, let's just begin. When we last left off, if you need a summary, the author is a small young woman who has just moved into an absolute pigsty. Like the whole house in this story is currently a Neckbeard nest. Wheezybeard, Part 2, Dinner Time. Hello again, Reddit friends. I'm back again for Part 2. Thank you for all the upvotes and comments. I will use more paragraphs from now on. Also, in my last story, I forgot to add trigger warnings. I'm sorry. If you get triggered by anything eating disorder related or sexual abuse, I'm not sure my stories are for you. To get into the story, we need to add a new character, our Neckbeard's grandma. Absolutely lovely lady. I will call her GG. Other cast members in this story are me, your vertically challenged OP, and our Neckbeard Wheezybeard, or WB. After my sister Angel left, I decided to start cleaning my room, vacuuming and mopping the floor, dusting everything, and arranging my belongings. I received a text from Wheezybeard saying GG wants to have you in the main house for dinner. Be there by 6. I was so relieved I wouldn't have to use that kitchen. It would take me so long to get it to any standard of clean. As a casual at my work, I decided to NA for a few days so I could clean at least some of the kitchen and bathroom. After all, no way I could use these amenities in the state they were in. I changed out of my sweaty clothes into a nice dress to meet my new landlord. A short walk over to the house, I popped my head through the back door and heard a warm, come in, welcome. We have a spot all ready for you." I walked into a feast. She must have spent hours putting this all together. Everything was so beautiful. Candles, music, everything. How was Wheezybeard related to her? GG was the exact opposite of Wheezybeard. So well dressed, curled hair, spotless house that smelled like fresh linen. I asked her later what she used, and she gave me a fresh linen spray for my new house. Now, Wheezybeard was already sat down at the table and had tucked in, slurping Coke from the bottle and noisily shoveling down food like he hadn't eaten in a month. Didn't bother eating with his mouth closed. GG ignored the shameless beardo and asked how I liked the new house. I came to learn she was unable to walk out to that house because she couldn't get up the steps anymore in her old age. Wheezybeard stared intensely at me, the look saying, "Don't you dare mention the house is dirty." I just simply said that it's a perfect location and price, just what I was hoping for. That wasn't a lie. Satisfied, Wheezybeard went back to eating like a pig at a trough. GG smiled. "I'm so glad we can have some company. It's just been me and Wheezybeard. Now come on over and tuck in. I'll bring out dessert soon." I thanked her as she went back into the kitchen and I started putting food onto my plate. Wheezybeard took one look at my plate and this piece of human garbage says to me, "Is that it? No wonder you are so skinny." Then even louder, he yells, "GG, this girl doesn't like your cooking." GG pokes her head out and tells him to be quiet, that I'm just shy and that if I don't like her food, she will happily whip up something else. She is a gem. After eating food to the point of bursting, she sends us off with leftovers in Tupperware. Thinking back, I miss her so much. On the short walk back to the house, Wheezybeard stops me. "You aren't bulimic, are you?" Does this man never think before he speaks? I tell him no, that I am very active and don't snack often. He tells me that I need to stop being so scared to eat, and thicker girls are much more attractive to him. He then says, "You would look so good with some extra weight on you." I'm guessing he meant anorexic? People with bulimia often eat a lot and then go to the bathroom directly after, I think. Either way, people with eating disorders are particularly ashamed of them, so maybe mind your own business. This also reeks of a lack of self-awareness. If he said this to the wrong person, they could easily fire back at him. "Well, why are you so fat? I'm much more attracted to guys who can fit in a single seat on an airplane." And no offense to my heavier viewers, of course, this guy is just really annoying. I very gently tell him that I don't want to change how I look, not for anyone but myself. After being in such a lovely place, the smell of ours hit me like a freight train, and honestly made me feel sick. If I was going to live here, I was certainly fixing it up, and this lardass was going to help. I will tell you it was like pulling teeth, but I would threaten to take photos and show them to GG if he refused to help out. After a few days and many tantrums on Wheezybeard's part, yes, he actually cried at times, saying I was so mean and that he has breathing problems and the chemicals make it so hard to breathe. I told him smoking wouldn't help his situation, so after many comments of, "Why did you have to move in? Why can't you just do the cleaning since it bothers you so much?" we finally had the house in an okay state. Do you think it would stay that way? No, not with our Neckbeard, but it never got as bad as it was in the beginning. Alright, I hope this story was long enough. I definitely enjoyed jotting down my time there, especially remembering Gigi. Everyone needs a Gigi, and I was so lucky to have known her. Thank you for everyone reading this, and I wish you a happy farewell for now, Redditors. This guy acts like it's already been confirmed that he's going to get laid just because he lives with a woman. Probably about both her and her sister. No idea where this confidence is coming from, though. Let's read the next one. Wheezybeard Part 3, Bath Time. Now that's an ominous title, isn't it? Hello again, fellow Redditors. I'm back again for more stories. Again, there will be triggering topics brought up, so please tread lightly, friends. Living with Wheezybeard was a scary time. This man was an absolute creep who would try filming me while I was in the bathroom, but would leave his very obvious camera and even his phone at one point, trying to get a peek at his roommate Milady. After yelling at him and breaking his camera accidentally, he stopped and would randomly try to see if I'd forgotten to lock the door. Fat chance, buddy. At one point, he stole the master key from his grandma's, had a secret copy made, and unlocked the door to see me fully dressed, about to brush my teeth. I'd had enough and told Gigi about him trying to be a creep, and she told me that she would speak to him. That night he came home and promised never to disturb me while I tried to shower. I don't know what she had said to him, but he blubbered the rest of the night about how he just wants a girlfriend so badly and how no girls will send nudes even if he sends them first. I laugh when I think about it. He thinks sending a pic of him trying to hold up all his belly fat to show these girls his little mushroom is going to get them all hot and bothered. What the Christ? I feel like this guy should be on the sex offender list just for that little transgression. How does someone put up with this? About a week later, I had gone out with friends and I'd had too much to drink, so they drove me home. I am a giggly drunk, so when I got home I laughed at how hard it was to open the door. Heh, kids. I walk in and giggle as he's laying there watching his show. Wheezybeard, what's so funny? I lost it and decided to tell him a stupid joke I heard. He laughed, but nowhere near as hard as I was. I think he could tell I was drunk. He offered to take his Milady to her quarters, but no way. I was drunk and had to finish my McDonald's in the bathtub. I was having a great time on my phone, eating my sundae and blowing bubbles. I hear a, "You are going to drown. I'll save you." I freaked. I'd forgotten I'd put my towel in with my laundry. No towel but his one in there. No way in hell am I using that. I'm drunk, trying to get dressed while also being drenched. I'm yelling, "I'm fine." He's yelling, "It's too dangerous. You'll slip and crack your head open." As he's trying all the keys on his keychain, trying to get in. Door swings open, I'm there, covered, but only just in the tight dress I'd worn out. He thought she was drowning in the bathtub? How fucking stupid would you have to think everyone else in the world is to give that excuse? I would find it insulting, honestly. In all that, I had missed a call from Gigi. I called her right back. She was worried, she heard yelling. I explained I had a few too many drinks, was having a bath, and Wheezybeard came in again because he thought I needed saving. Gigi went quiet and told me to come over to her house and she would look after me until morning when she would speak to Wheezybeard again. Wheezybeard at this point was crying again. "I was trying to save her," he wailed into the phone. "I could hear her drowning," he said. "I kept yelling out to you that I was fine, but you came in anyway," I said. He snatched my phone, hung up and told me I was a bitch and he was trying to stop me from hurting myself, that no woman appreciates a gentleman. I went to Gigi's house sobbing. Gigi was in the lounge room, setting up my bedding on the lounge. She sat with me for ages, listening to me and comforting me. She told me that Wheezybeard deep down was a good boy. He had a lot of manners to learn, but he never had a male role model to teach him how to be a man. That his mother didn't care about him and enabled his behavior. She will be in future stories. I did feel bad for him as she explained he didn't know how to speak to girls and was bullied a lot growing up. It's hard to hate the guy at this point. I could relate with things like bullying, no good role models, and not being taught certain things, so with my permission, she called him over and he did apologize again and was made to give her the key because he had broken his promise and my trust. I stayed at Gigi's that night, and the next day I came home to flowers on my bed. There were nice moments, but a lot of them were overshadowed by a lot of neckbeardy things. And we will hate him again, but it made me see him from another side. Okay, I'm not saying she's a bad person or intends for this to happen, but this guy's grandma is enabling the hell out of him, to the extent that he's going to assault someone and it's going to be partially her fault. Maybe not legally, but this is how I see it at least. Hell, he's probably going to assault the author, considering people keep telling me how dark the ending of the series is. This next paragraph actually explains a bit about why she's putting up with so much. Finishing on that note, I wanted to thank you all again for reading my stories. Makes me so happy that one was read on YouTube. Thank you, Reddix. Also for personally letting me know my other posts were removed. I love how you are so dedicated to your fans. P.S. I had a very turbulent childhood, so going back to my parents would have been much, much worse. It's dark, and honestly it would be very triggering for many people. My parents were drug addicts, and nothing was more important to them. They didn't want me and would constantly tell me so. I escaped at 15 after so much abuse. I don't want a pity party, but again, if people want to hear my background story, I will tell it. I don't know what platform to put it on either. I'm in a much better, safer place now, ready to share my stories with you guys. Hope you all have a fantastic night. I mean, this does explain a lot. I've definitely seen people put up with some bullshit just because they were used to things sucking. The story is still pretty hard to swallow, though. I mean, most people wouldn't put up with someone trying to secretly record them in the bathroom once. You can and probably should call the cops over that. Well, let me know what you think and if you want me to finish this series. Don't worry, it's not like I won't be covering other things as well. But that is about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say, don't hold back. Let me hear it. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, even though they keep not notifying my subscribers when I upload, apparently. Also, big thanks to my generous patrons. I'll be shouting them out by name pretty soon here, but they help me out a bit more directly so I can buy 4 Loco. I do plan to make a video hopefully by the end of tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Have a great night, everyone, and make sure you don't drown in the bathtub. I mean, that is something that happens, but if this guy was any more transparent, you wouldn't be able to see him.